order to be an effective leader, an effective business owner, you're going to need a team. You're going to need a great team. This is a checklist of this woman. She was able to manage and delegate tasks. Ladies, did y'all ever think about how the Proverbs 31 woman was a businesswoman? That's right. She was a businesswoman. Like, I remember reading about the Proverbs 31 woman, and each time I read about her, like, and when I first just gave my life to Christ, the first thing I was saying, I was just like, whoa, like, this lady's amazing. How can we even keep up with her? She has such amazing abilities. Like, that's how I looked at her. I'm like, this woman's strong. And then as I started looking deeper into the text, you realize that the Proverbs 31 woman was a businesswoman. Somebody, I want y'all to just drop down businesswoman really quick in the chat. Just say that. She was a businesswoman. Here are some of the key qualities that I have read about her, and I really wanted to go ahead and share that because this is the checklist of the Proverbs 31 woman. If any of you guys have read it and you're like, this is what I want to make sure that I'm exuding, I'm building. Listen, she had a great work ethic. If you are building anything right now in this season, one of the things that you're going to have to understand that you need to do is you're going to need great work ethic. Even I know that. I'm like, God, help me. Listen to this. Proverbs 31, 13-14. The Proverbs 31 woman was diligent and hardworking. She sought wool and flax and worked willingly with her hands. What does this show? This show that this woman was not afraid to get dirty, to work with her hands. She was not afraid of manual labor. She was not afraid of production, right? And if you look at that today in this modern world, what that would mean, what it would translate it to is that she was not afraid to be active in her business. She was not afraid to be in the day-to-day operations. So ask yourself, like, if I have a business, God has given me an idea, am I actively in my business or am I just pawning it out to someone else? Right? She had a great work ethic, right? So work hard. Working hard is godly. If you want to build wealth in this season, understand that working hard is actually godly. Here's another thing. She had an entrepreneurial spirit. That's right. So right now, if you see, there's so many women who are out there, they are running businesses, they are running corporations, they are, I'm not going to say like Beyonce running the world, because no, ma'am, that is not what's happening. But what is happening right now is that a lot of women are taking their positions and they're beginning to just really walk heavy in the entrepreneur space, walk heavy in the leadership space. And they're doing it with amazing grace and amazing, just God is really with them. But look at this really quick. In Proverbs 31:16, it says she considers a field and buys it. Y'all hear that? Where my real estate women at? Hey. She considers a field and she buys it, right? Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. This clearly right here, this states right here that she makes wise investments. Whether you're in real estate or not, you need to understand that when you have your money, your finances in order, and you like are prayerful and you are very, you make the wisest decisions into where you need to invest. My money can't just go anywhere. My money needs to be in something that is going to produce, somebody say produce, a return. I need a good ROI, a return on investment. Somebody say that really, really quick, right? She managed her finances well, and she created multiple streams of income. How did she do this? Let's see. She considers a field and she buys it. Maybe she was in real estate. Maybe she looked at land. Maybe you're in real estate right now. You're looking at land. Maybe you're looking in digital ways you can you can have finances online. Maybe if it's not just finances online, but you're like, you know what? I have a great idea in making an investment in another business. And I know I can see that this business is on the rise. Let's start it somewhere in the city. Maybe it's a hair salon. Maybe it's something of that sort, but you know that you are going to get a return on your investment. Hello, y'all. You hear what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying really quick? So just be mindful as to where you're going to be making your investments. So, right. And diversify your income streams. One thing that I've learned in these last few years, especially with the great year of 2020, hello, if anybody went through 2020, is that one thing for sure is you want to make sure that you have multiple streams of income. Diversify your income. Don't let your income source be from one place. This is what, like, when you look at it, it's like God looked at us and said, hey, ladies, I have a blueprint for you right here. All right. Like, it's right here. Check out this woman. But for us, we were mostly, if you're like me, we were looking at her strengths, her abilities to just be a great wife, like take care of her children, like get up early. We're like, oh my, this lady's much. But I see that in every season, you start to look at this Proverbs 31 woman and you're like, oh my God, this is a godly attribute that I actually really, really, really need, right? And so she was wise. She diversified her income. She made sure she invested wisely, right? The next one I would have to say is management and delegation. Y'all remember when you read Proverbs 31 and you're like, oh, she gave like her maid tasks to do, like they were like working on things for her. Here's why management and delegation is important. You're ready? If anyone here is a leader and you're watching, is you cannot do everything on your own. As a matter of fact, when you try to do everything on your own, I would say that it takes so much more effort. It takes, like, you are gassed. It takes everything out of you and you have no space for your creativity anymore, right? So she was this woman who was just like, hey, like, I know I need help. I'm going to get the help I need. That's one of my biggest takeaways, is understanding that you need the help. And if you need it, don't be afraid to ask, right? Proverbs 31:15 says, she provides food for her household and portions for her servant girls. This shows that she was not only a business owner, but she also managed and she delegated tasks. In order to be an effective leader, an effective business owner, you're going to need a team. You're going to need a great team. There comes a time when it's no longer you doing things by yourself. You're no longer a solopreneur. Whether it's someone to help you with social media management, hello. Whether it's someone to come and help clean your house. Whether it's someone to, there's so many different things. You need help with it. Whether it's someone that would help you write copy, help you build out the funnels. You need help. Someone with emails. It's no longer you yourself. This is a checklist of this woman. She was able to manage and delegate tasks. Manage and delegate tasks. What does this mean right here? It means in order to be successful, have a successful business, be successful in life, and I'm not going to say balance because there's almost no such thing like is balance really, but just to be able to run your business and be able to spend time with your family. You can't do it all as a woman, especially when we're supposed to be taking care of our home. It's important that you can taking care of your home doesn't necessarily mean my hands need to be physically the one that is washing the dishes. My hands have to be physically the one that is fixing the beds. Guess what? You can actually hire someone else to come and help you once a week to come and help you clean. The next one was she was resourceful, right? Resourceful. And she was good at trading. Resourceful and great at trading, y'all. It says here, she makes linen garments and sells them. That's in Proverbs 31:24. And supplies the merchants with sashes. She was engaged in trade and commerce. You can look at it now and kind of say, hey, is this an online thing? When you look at the modern day, you can say she was involved in e-commerce. Now you can look at, right? She like made goods, sold them. So there's people right now who are making clothing, selling clothing, making products, selling it online. It says that she was resourceful in trade, right? She was resourceful and she knew how to trade. The Proverbs 31 woman in verse 24, it says she makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. She was engaged in trade and commerce. You can look at it today like an e-commerce thing, right? She made the goods and sold the goods. We have women today who are making clothes, selling clothes, making beauty products, selling beauty products on e-commerce online. You have that store. Isn't it amazing that we can see, like, just from this great and beautiful ancient text, it's like we were saying earlier, God just kind of laid it out for us kingdom women right here. He just kind of laid it out. Women, let me tell y'all, ladies, wealth is not a bad word. The Proverbs 31 woman was not only a strong woman, she was a woman that also knew how to take care of her money. She was a woman of wealth. Have y'all read Proverbs 12:4, where it talks about an excellent wife? And part of that word with excellent also means wealth, which means what? It means also woman of valor, strength. Ladies, come on, we got to get in the text to understand what God has for us. All right. So even with the e-commerce, you got to look at it now. Like, right, there's a lot of people who are creating online courses. There's digital entrepreneurs, right? There's so many things like you can use to generate wealth right now in this season. You can use your talents and your gifts online to generate wealth in this season, right? The next point says that she was clothed in strength and dignity. What does that mean? She wasn't afraid of the success for her business, because how I look at it is, if God gives me the business, if God gives me the blueprint, and I take my time to get better at my skill, then I don't have to live in fear and anxiety. That is not my portion. I don't have to be afraid of something that's not even here. That's just like a mirage, like it's a smoke screen, right? So strength and dignity. Not only that, but she was generous. The Proverbs 31 woman was a generous woman. In verse 20, it says she opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. What does this mean? Her wealth, the wealth that God gave her, was not only for her. It was not only for her family. It was not only for personal needs, but it was also to take care of those that are around her, the people that are in need, the people in need in your community. How are you making a contribution? This is the Proverbs 31 woman's checklist. When we look at this woman, her husband was great, her kids was good, her money was great. I mean, her household was taken care of. I don't know what problems may have occurred, but from what I'm looking at from the outside, at least these things, she had a few things together. And these were some of the things that she had together. All right. So, like, build the business, but as you build the business, build others up. Be able to take care of other people, sow into their life, and be a wonderful blessing to others. Right. That's the whole thing, is be able to give back. What is your community service? What is your way of releasing wealth into the people around you? She also had wisdom and vision. Proverbs 31:26 says, she speaks with wisdom. Did y'all hear that? And faithful instruction is on her tongue. She was not only wise in business, but also in her speech instruction, and she had influence, right? She was an influential leader. When it says that her husband sits at the city gates, she was an influential leader. That's why, for me, communication is absolutely important, utmost important, because as a leader, what you say matters. As a believer in general, what you say matters. You want to speak your way to wealth. You want to take your time and really make sure that what you're putting out there, what you're saying, is because you are living it. What you're exuding, what's coming out of you, is going to be because you are actually living it. You are actually living it. I understand the word. I understand what it says about me. I understand what it says about wealth. I understand what it takes for me to be able to live in a realm, in a place where I am living in abundance, and where I am living in a place of where I'm whole, where I am living in a place of success, where I am living in a place where I understand that God gives me the ability to get wealth. When I look at this Proverbs 31 woman's life, I not only see a godly woman, but I see a godly woman because she has decided to submit to the Lord, submit to her husband, and do things the right way, that God has extremely provided for her and blessed her. She is a businesswoman, an entrepreneur. She manages well. She knows how to delegate the task. This is beautiful. She's wise. She's influential. She's a leader. When she opens up her mouth, people are like, what are you saying? They want to know. She is persuasive in speech. And she gets the help when she needs it. She is not doing this alone. She's doing it with other people. What do I mean by that? Ladies, if you don't know by now, I have a wonderful community called She Thrives, where women are not doing life alone, where these women who are leaders, who are coaches and speakers and entrepreneurs, are together within this community. Because why? We weren't meant to do life alone. We were meant to do it together. And when you get in a room full of women who are exuberant, who are excited, who are entrepreneurs and excited to live life to the fullest, this is where we thrive together. So I'm saying this is the Proverbs 31 Woman's Checklist. If this has extremely been beneficial to you today, go ahead and leave a comment in the description below. I want to read it. I read all of your comments. I want to hear what you think about this today. And do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to this channel where we will be coming here to you and just speaking more about business and entrepreneur and kingdom business and wealth and just building in this season. God bless you.